For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Come on! Wait up!
Is everyone ready to play?
I think the people involved, you get to meet a lot of people in football, and that's just one of the great things. Not only is the sport great, but the people involved. So fellow referees, players, coaches, even fans. I love officiating because it keeps me involved in football. I was a player, but I don't reckon I could cut it out there anymore, at least at any decent level. But as a referee, I get to be involved in high levels of football. Keeps me involved, keeps me fit, and is great fun. I think I have a moment of this is why I do this every week. It's always good fun to get out there, and there are tough moments, but being resilient and succeeding, even just in the little things throughout a match. I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn, and as a referee you'll surely come across a lot of them, and I certainly have. I reckon give it a go. You will face challenges, but that's a part of it, and I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings, Tom Wren for sport, Jade Robran on the scene as it happens, Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide, Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Welcome to round 18 of the REA National Premier League South Australia. This afternoon it's Adelaide City versus Croydon. Before we talk more about this match, we'll have a quick look at the table before commencement of round 18. Last round's top of the table clash between Metro Stars and West Torrens Bacalla resulted in a three-way reshuffle at the top. While Metro claimed top spot, Adelaide City's win was enough to put them on equal points with Berks, with goal difference proving enough to put City into second. FK Beograd hot off their Federation Cup win last week, sitting in fourth, are ready to close the gap on any top three side who drops points. Meanwhile, Croydon and Playford playing to solidify their top six at the end of season, guaranteeing a finals berth. Down the other end of the ladder, Para Hill's relegation fate is decided while several other teams battle to stay clear of that second relegation spot. We'll talk more about the ladder though in a moment, because now let's talk about the two teams that will be kicking off shortly for Adelaide City. Two changes made by head coach Vas Parhas. Wasn't pretty last week against Para Hills, but 3 points was what they were chasing, and 3 points was enough to secure that second spot in the end. And today, in come Nick Kapuko with his first NPL start since round 9 this year, and Asad Kasumovic making way, Patrick Carachia and Francesco Scamitzi. Meanwhile for Croydon, their run of a pretty solid starting 11 continues. No changes made from last week where they enjoyed a pretty convincing win against Comets. In fact, we've got a bit of a change to the bench to Croydon, and two players worth pointing out they will be hoping to get their first NPL appearance this afternoon. Nicola Marino and Massimo Sergi, two 20-year-old players that, if they get on today, will enjoy their first NPL appearance. Our officials today, Jaden Betterman, Nick Elligan and Luca Castello. And it's Simon Jimenez keeping you company for the next 90 minutes of football. So let's talk about what's happened so far this round in the RAA NPLSA. We had two matches last night. One including West Torrens Bacalla, who we already mentioned, slipped to third following last week's loss to Metro Stars. Equal points with Adelaide City, but behind on goal difference, and they sure did something about that last night with a massive statement 11-0 win against the bottom-placed Para Hills. So their goal difference is now ahead of Adelaide City as it stands at the moment, and it puts West Torrens Bacalla back up the top. Although Metro Stars kick off at 3 o'clock this afternoon against Playford City, so a win will put them back on top. So Adelaide City, who in terms of a live ladder situation sit in third at the moment, a win is just so critical. Meanwhile, Croydon, they've snuck into the top six in recent weeks and just hoping to solidify their position, and of course that form going into the final series too, because of course they would love to make it back-to-back after winning the 2025 RAA NPLSA Grand Final and becoming champions. Teams making their way to the centre now. Croydon not donning their usual red. They've got green over white shorts today. Big fixture last week locally with the Federation Cup final. Of course, the Apex Steel WMPL WSL Cup final as well. It was West Adelaide that won in the women's competition, and FK Beograd that went on to win the Federation Cup final. But both these sides featured heavily throughout the weekend in terms of the junior stakes. And in fact, at Adelaide City Park at halftime today, we're going to see the Junior Cup winners enjoy a presentation at halftime as well. So great to see the junior clubs acknowledged. And of course, we've got the junior mascots out there with these two teams as well, as they go back to the rooms and the two teams greet each other. So we mentioned for Croydon, no changes coming in today, and two for Adelaide City. And maybe the most notable, Nick Bucco coming back in, putting on the captain's armband, and Patrick Carachia making way. A little bit of chatter below us as the keeper for Croydon, Daniel Margush, chooses to don the hat. So he's getting ready if it's going to be Croydon that are kicking from right to left. And Under the afternoon sun at Adelaide City Park. That's the less favoured option in the first half with the sun in your eyes. And yeah, it looks like it will be the visitors kicking to the left. Home side taking their positions on the left-hand side of your screen. Now referees getting ready to get proceedings underway. Of course, Jaden Bedham in the middle, assisted by Nick Elligan and Luca Castello. So a key fixture, this one, in terms of how that top six will shape up. As we said, Metro Stars, in terms of the live ladder situation in second at the moment, are playing Playford City at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Playford still in the top six despite a bit of a horror run of form in recent weeks. We'll keep you up to date throughout that game. And FK Beergrad currently in fourth. They've got Adelaide United Youth, who are currently in 8th spot, but they don't play till tomorrow evening, a late afternoon fixture on a Sunday to finish off round 18 of the RD18 National Premier League South Australia. And of course, chat to a local who backs you and your team. It's better to be a member with RD18. It's going to be Luca Trimboli that gets us underway as soon as Jaden Bedham's whistle goes, and it does. Martinello chooses to go left to Slattery. Polly managed to just get that ball away from Slattery, who puts the cross in. Just goes over the top of Trimboli, and Adelaide City are allowed to clear. And Croydon able to stifle that. It goes out for the first throw-in. Polly to take. Goes over the top to Abbotsford. He's not able to clear effectively, but the whistle goes and it will be an Adelaide City free kick. First one of the day. It's going to be the captain, Nick Bucco, to take. Goes back to Abbotsford. Patient and looking for his options. Goes back to him via Bailey O'Neill. And he'll eventually go central to Costanzo, who's come in to provide an option in the middle. And he comes over the top to Kazumovic. He just went over the top, and take your time was the call from on pitch from one of his teammates. Going to be our first goal kick of the afternoon. A bit surprising to see the sun out this afternoon after the weather we had last weekend. It was a wet one for the Apex Steel WNPL WSL Cup final, of course the Federation Cup final as well. Didn't do much to dampen the spirits because it was a great atmosphere at Service FM Stadium, but maybe a little bit surprising in the dead of winter when we get such a sunny day as we do at the moment. We're not complaining though, as Klimek sends it out for an Adelaide City throw-in. 2 minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. One game we didn't talk about last night was the one at the lower end of the table between Campbelltown and Adelaide Comets. Ended up just being one goal scored in that affair, which was a pretty important one in the picture of things, with Comets trying to get out of the relegation zone and Campbelltown trying to shake themselves clear of that area. But Campbelltown ended up getting the win at home at Steve Woodcock Sports Complex. So they now sit on 22 points, just outside of that top six, and Adelaide Comets still in that second from bottom spot in the relegation zone on 13. So West Adelaide are ahead on 18 at the moment. They face Sturt Lions this afternoon, the other game with the 3 o'clock kickoff. So if West Adelaide do get a result, that'll go a good way to putting a bit of a buffer between them and Comets as Croydon come forward. Cato sends it central, but only to the hands of John Hall. Quickly gets play underway via Laurie Latanzio. Here's Costanzo. Dispossessed, and Cato slips it through to Klimek, who has to stretch to centre that ball. Haven't lost possession yet, though. Here's Passia John. 1-2 through Klimek, and eventually crosses it, and ends up being a miss for Cato. A little bit of frustration showing from both those benches. Parhas disappointed with Adelaide City letting that opportunity come, and miss from straight in front for Croydon.
Good. Yes, look out.
Paul takes the short option to Abichu. Chips it central, but Catano had to run for it. Adelaide City keep it, though, as Kasumovic finds Laurie Latanzio. Call for it from Catano, and eventually it comes over the top, but Freddie Muller is able to clear it, only temporarily, though, to Nick Bucco. Little flick behind to find Kasumovic, who gets a tackle and wins the free just outside the box. So, free kick won by Adelaide City from a dangerous position. Dominic Costanzo and Nick Bucco. A couple of different options to take this kick. I suspect it's probably going to be the captain that will take it. Had a bit of a less than ideal week last week, to be honest, did Dominic Costanzo, including having a penalty stopped. And the Adelaide City captain just deadly from the spot, but as is Sad Kasumovic, who may get a go at it. Martinello, Cato, John and Slattery in that wall as Bucco sends it in and just goes wide of the near side post. Patient for the restart at the moment at Croydon. Ten wins to Adelaide City so far this year to Croydon's 8. This is an interesting stat though. Just two losses for Adelaide City compared to Croydon's 6. Conversely though, Adelaide City have drawn on 5 occasions as the shot comes in. It's an early one, converted for Adelaide City. And it's Yuki Kitano that puts Adelaide City's nose in front in just the 6th minute. We mentioned it was a bit of a patient start to proceedings here this afternoon, but on that case, maybe a little just a bit too passive for Croydon. Officially ruled in the 7th minute. That one for the 25-year-old Japanese player. Joined last year from Marconi Stallions and top scorer for Adelaide City so far this year, and he adds to his tally to make it 12. Back underway as Martinello chooses the right-hand side via Klimek, goes out again for a throw-in. And I've got the live ladder in front of me at the moment. Adelaide City on equal points with West Torrens Bacala at the moment, so they'll be hoping to claim all 3 to put themselves on level terms with Berks. Of course, Metro Stars currently on 37th, so they'll be expecting nothing but a win against Playford City this afternoon to put them on top. Very interesting race between those top 3 sides at the moment. But of course, though, it's easy to forget that even after the completion of this round, there's still another 4 matches to go. So there's still a lot of potential for the ladder to be shaken up, but consistency is going to be the name of the game. Get this back into the season as Laurie Latanzio manages to land it at the feet of Costanzo. Back to Kasumovic. He's got some traffic to get through, and Markush does brilliantly well to deny Adelaide City. Not completely out of danger yet. Brissan struggles to control that, and John comes to assist. A little bit of frustration shown by Brissan. Jaden Betterman, the central referee, having a quick word to stifle any unwanted behaviour. Hurried clearance by Adelaide City, and it finds Asad Kasumovic, who's goes down via a bump from Freddie Muller. Seems to be a little bit of early frustration from both these sides. A little bit of a call from one of the Adelaide City players there saying book him. To get back underway. Costanzo finds the option of Franchisi. Manages to evade too, he's still got it. Muller just puts himself in front of it and manages to win it back via Slattery. Free kick the way of Croydon is the result of that. We spoke a little bit about where Adelaide City currently sit on the ladder in terms of Croydon. Currently on 27 points. FK Beograd above them in 4th and 30. As we mentioned, FK Beograd don't play until tomorrow. They're coming off quite a big week, of course, with the extra match in the Federation Cup final. They had the midweek game as well. They hosted North Sunshine Eagles in the Hahn Australia Cup. And they're going to back it up after just a few days rest against Adelaide United tomorrow. So if Croydon want to put themselves in the box seat to take advantage of a tired FK Beograd dropping points, they'll have to claim all 3 this weekend. Kasumic in some space as Gitano slides in and fails to get his foot to it and convert, much to the relief of Croydon. This home side today have not lost in the NPL since May 1st this year against West Torrens Bacala. So 2.5 months worth of sent across, and Laurie Latanzio just glances across the front of him just to revisit that stat. Again, Adelaide City have not lost since May 1st against West Torrens Bacala. That game was away. And of course, West Torrens Bacala continue their streak of being lossless at home last night with that big win against Para Hills. Adelaide City actually played Para Hills last week, and you can excuse some of the teams for going into that fixture expecting a big win, as West Torrens Bacala absolutely did last night. But it was a bit of a narrower margin between Adelaide City and Para Hills here 2 weeks ago in the last round. 2-0 was the final result. 4th minute goal from Yuki Kitano, 25th minute goal from Francesco Scamizzi. To be honest, even in the goalless second half, it didn't look like Para Hills were too much of a threat, but in general, in terms of what Adelaide City showed, I think it's safe to say they wouldn't have been too impressed with that second half performance that they put forth. Nonetheless, got the win as they did the week before, 1-0 away against Comets. The week before for them was a big one with a 3-0 victory at home against Metro Stars, in which Yuki Kitano claimed a hat-trick. Croydon, of course, coming off a big win last week. 4-1 away in a Friday night affair at LJ Hooker Milan Sports Park against Adelaide Comets. Bowley opened the scoring in just the 15th minute with Damian Luic responding for Comets in the 36th. Passia John scored in the 38th. Oscar Slattery when they came out from half-time in the 47th, and Passia John claimed his brace in the 85th minute. So 4-1 was the final result to back up a win the week prior at home against Adelaide United Youth. So decent run of form as of late for Croydon. Martinello finds Maport. Under a little bit of pressure from Catano, but locates Styles. He has to scramble to retain it, doesn't manage to do so. Costanzo. The ball that had Margush at full stretch, and he just managed to help it over the crossbar in the end. Could probably consider that a couple really good opportunities for Adelaide City missed so far, with that ball that went across the front of Yuki Kitano. That was just out of reach of that slide he made in, and Dominic Costanzo opportunistically just trying to get that over the top of Margush, but keeper for Croydon too good. And now Costanzo will take this goal kick. Sends it low, and it's intercepted at the front post by Klimek. Dom Costanzo to give it a second go in the 15th minute on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. A little bit longer that time and falls to the head of Abichu, who is wide of the target in the end. And now a goal kick. Here's Muller. Martinello under a little bit of pressure from Kasumovic. Muller also under a little bit of pressure, and he thumps it out to safety. Cheesy goes over the top of Slattery, but Kato managed to have a little run. Now here's Gaetano. A little bit of contact on Muller, but he ended up favouring the Croydon defender in the end. Now here's Trimboli. He's got Slattery there as an option. Just a little bit heavy on the touch there, and Adelaide City continue to try and win that ball high. And that'll be a corner kick for Croydon. It's going to be Martinello to take it. A slow start for the afternoon at Adelaide City Park. Not a terrible lot of urgency to take this corner. John Hall floats beautifully to claim that. O'Neill goes back to Hall. Abichu. Muller seemingly having his hands full. Yuki Kitano. Styles finds Muller. Plays it back to Margush. Mapore again. Polly just floating back. Provide another option, but Margush goes to the left-hand side to Slattery. Croydon building up patiently. Just to invite a little bit of pressure from that first line. Abichu goes over the top of Luca Trimboli, who wins the foul. Martinello will take the free. And it does so quickly to Bombaport. Klimek. Pass here, John. And it goes out for another Croydon throw-in. Brissan clears. Paul managing to keep it in as Klimek finds himself under a bit of pressure from Laurie Latanzio. Croydon do well to keep it. And nice ball to find Slattery on the opposite side. Muller and Slattery just trying to invite a little bit of pressure and make Yuki Kitano work. Styles goes all the way back to Margush. Just goes off the top of Polly and ends up at the feet of Slattery. Abichu does well to put himself there and win it back, and it's an Adelaide City throw-in now. So a little bit of a passive start perhaps for Croydon, and over the last 5 minutes just trying to just slow the game down a little bit and enjoy a little bit more possession and just play a little bit more on their own terms. The whistle goes and Croydon won a free kick here. Martinello seemingly got a bit of a knock on the back of his neck, and a little bit of discussion between the Adelaide City captain and our referee Jaden Betterman about that one. John Hall comes out again strongly and plucks that out of the air. Clears it quickly to running Dom Costanzo. Does well, Klimek, to get to that first. Martinello once again helping out defensively. Muller finds Slattery again. Slattery does well as Franchisi goes to ground. He should get the cross off. Does Trimboli. Ned Styles had a bit of a wall to get past in those two Adelaide City players. There was a little bit of an appeal for a free kick, but it was quickly waved off. And it goes out for a throw-in as Adelaide City scrambled to clear that out of danger. Here's Muller. Muller manages to beat Kitano. Flag shown for a moment, but the advantage paid instead. Slattery goes back to Polly, to Styles, back to Muller. So it seems Croydon are settling in at the moment, but that ball back to Margush made him work for it a little bit. Brissan, under some pressure, manages to find his captain. Here's Nick Bucco. Tano goes to ground and Ollie's able to eventually clear. Here's Cato to Martinello. Finds Passia John. He's got Klimek. Instead, spots Oscar Slattery again on that far side, but this time not able to get to it. They've been really utilising Oscar Slattery well on that left-hand side in recent weeks. Have Croydon even managed to find the back of the net on his own accord last week in the 47th minute. Franchisi finds Kasumovic. Franchisi making a darting run on the inside. Eventually Costanzo sends it over the top of everyone to the feet of Margush. Croydon back on the charge now as the bench tries to instill a bit of urgency. Bucco looking for Laurie Latanzio. Costanzo ends up winning it for Adelaide City. Here's Catano. Got Weston as another option presenting, but Martinello's able to clear it as far as Trimboli. Here's Klimek. Arrives to put Bailey O'Neill under a little bit of pressure. Goes out for an Adelaide City throw-in. Weston. Back to John Hall. Catano this time manages to win it pretty easily, but will eventually win it back. Styles finds Slattery. Bomber Paul wants it, making one of his runs through the middle.
If you want to go, we'll sit back and cover. Got to be better start, so we're out there. Just drop me with the side. Slash, keep with me, so they can.
Yep, up now.
Very cheesy to take the throw-in and finds Catano.
Okay.
Ready, chop off. Who's line?
Stay. Come, Slash, come.
Calling from options and finds Trimboli. Martinello. Looked like a possible miss hit, but eventually lands kindly to Passia John. Clement finds John. Styles plays it back to Maport. Slattery's again on his own on that left-hand side. Does Croydon go all the way back? Nice ball from Markush to find Klimek, and now he's Passia John in a little bit of space. He's got Trimboli in the middle. Managed to get past O'Neill. Sends that cross in, and it's Yared Abatu that gets the eventual touch that puts it out for a corner. Styles is going to be the one to take for Croydon. A 22-year-old lefty that was part of the championship side for Croydon for last year. Left-footed in-swinger that lands to the head of Passia John, but just floats over the crossbar. 28 minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. It's round 18 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. Chat to a local who backs you and your team. It's better to be a member with RAA. Meanwhile, we've just ticked over 3 o'clock, which means kickoff has either happened or not too far away in the other 2 fixtures this afternoon. Ramsey Park, Playford City and Metro Stars. I can confirm that game has kicked off. And the other one, West Adelaide hosting Sturt Lions at Kilburn Sportsplex. Bomber Port gets ahead to that. As Lucas Klimek finds Martinello. Back to Maport. So, as we said earlier with those 2 games, both critical, but it's opposite ends at the table as the challenge goes down on the near side. Jaden Betterman has the yellow card at the ready and flashes it in the face of Asad Kasumovic. Polly still in a deal of pain. The trainer's ready to go on for Croydon. He wouldn't have to go far. Haven't called for him yet. Looks like it's just knocked the wind out of Polly. Just having another look at that clash. Asad Kasumovic slid in and looks like it hit the shin of Polly. Another heavy clash. There's Laurie Latanzio, I believe that went down heavily on that occasion. Play does continue as he gets up, although a little bit gingerly. Here's Kasumovic again, manages to get past 2 and eventually finds Weston. He's got Klimek to get past, who comes in, challenges and gives away the foul. So Don Costanzo will be the man to take this one. He's having a quick chat to his captain in Nick Bucco. Two-man wall for Croydon, consisting of Passia John and Ned Stiles. Costanzo goes over the top and ends up going over the top of everyone for a goal kick. Muller was trying to find Slattery, but he knew as soon as that left the boot that wasn't what he was trying to achieve. Goes out for a Croydon throw-in. Well, he chooses Trimboli, who heads it on nicely to the path of Martinelli. He's got Passia John in a good amount of space there. He's got Weston to get past. The footwork is good. Laurie Latanzio arrives to give some assistance and dispossess in a 3-on-1. Tried to counter quickly Adelaide City, but Bon Rapport had one eye on Yuki Kitano. Abichu comes over the top to claim the header, but Mapor is there waiting for it. Margush bombs it long again. Only gets on the end of that loose ball. Now here's Stiles. Chooses a central option in Trimboli. Here's Cato. Slips it through to Polly. He hasn't got a whole lot of options Passia John just arrives a little bit too late. Now it's Adelaide City back on the bounce, and Catano being hunted down by Muller. Catano a little bit heavy on the touch, maybe mercifully for Croydon. Did well under a little bit of pressure to chase down Catano there, did Freddie Muller. Just 18 years of age is Freddie Muller, as I was told midweek. It's Costanzo. Larry Latanzio arriving as a short option, but chooses to land that right around the penalty spot. 4 minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. As we said, we're underway after the 3 o'clock kickoff between Playford City and Metro Stars. I can tell you no goal scored in that one yet. Don't have any live results from Kilburn Sportsplex in West Adelaide versus Sturt Lions. Try to get you updates on that one as they come available though. Costanzo it's over the crossbar. John gets to it, but goes out for an Adelaide City throw-in. Free kick one for Croydon. Ed Stiles takes it short to Pommelport. Stiles finds John. Weston ends up picking that up for Adelaide City. Costanzo has the chase and slides in to try and claim it, but Holly measured that better on that occasion. Klimek. All the way back to Margush. Costanzo tried to play that into the path of Bucco, but it's one back. Now here's Yuya Kato. Slattery plays it back to Polly. That's Martinello looking up to assess his options. Finds Bapor. Martinello does well to find Slattery. Now he's got Franchisi to get past. Slides in. Slattery just able to keep it in and ends up giving one for John Hall to reach for. Now Adelaide City on the bounce again. Here's Ollie Weston. With Passia John giving chase. The whistle does go and Adelaide City win the free. Daniel Brissan to claim this free kick. Asad Kasumovic and Yuki Kitano, the most advanced players Adelaide City at the moment, but they choose the short option. Bailey O'Neill goes to Garrett Abitu, and now back to John Hall. O'Neill. Styles does well to win it, but again, Passy John has to scramble a little bit to retain it for Croydon as they send the ball over the top, but Laurie Latanzio will be the one to get there first for Adelaide City. O'Neill has to wrestle with Passy John and eventually falls to the feet of Martinello, I believe it was. Croydon go all the way back again. So in the last 20 minutes or so, since Adelaide City scored the goal really, and we saw a couple of near opportunities for Adelaide City, Croydon really have done what they need to do to wrestle back a little momentum and start playing the game on their terms, but hasn't been a great deal of attacking threat generated of our own, I think it's safe to say. Bucco finds Costanzo, back to Bucco. Now it's Laurie Latanzio with a swing out, the ball goes well wide in the end. Goal kick to Croydon. It's easy. Managed to find Kasumovic. Martinello fails in his attempt to win it back. And they give away another foul just on the edge of the 18-yard box. This time on Asad Kasumovic. So it's a very similar spot to where the last one was, maybe just a little bit more central. Last free kick from here, it was Costanzo, Bucco and Kasumovic. The three players that were looking to take it. Looks like it's going to be either Bucco or Kasumovic on this occasion. Four-man wall for Croydon. Bucco takes it and just ends up about half a yard just over the crossbar in the end. Latanzio for Adelaide City. First player able to get a touch on that and finds O'Neill, who puts it back towards Kitano. There's Laurie Latanzio again. Goes to Costanzo as Asad Kasumovic was just floating in on the far edge, and Croydon tried to find Oscar Slattery with that clearance, but a little bit too much on it for Slattery to get to, and it will be an Adelaide City throw-in. Martinello does well enough to get a flick off under pressure, but Slattery now grappling with Franchisi. Styles gets involved and the flag goes up, and it will be a free kick the way of Croydon. A little bit of interaction between Nick Bucco on the way bench right in front of the commentary position here, which is what we usually get a bit of a front row to. Muller. K2 doesn't quite get a foot two on it, but is forced to be a little bit overzealous to win that back from Brissan, and in doing so commits the foul. Bailey O'Neill takes it quickly, and Polly forced to put that over the back fence for safety. It's going to be O'Neill take the corner now for Adelaide City. Left-footed in swing incoming. Brissan presents. This Laurie Latanti on Marcouche again does well to deny Adelaide City. And it's going to be Costanzo that takes the second corner in quick succession.
Help! Come on, man!
Laurie Latanzio back to Costanzo. Klimax waiting for it in the middle. Now here's Croydon trying to generate something on a counter. Bolmaport does well. These Adelaide City players track back, and it's Costanzo that's able to clear. Now Laurie Latanzio. Back to Costanzo, who sends it long, trying to feed something to Yuki Kitano, but it's put out for another Adelaide City throw-in. Just over a minute into additional time at Adelaide City Park. Just that one goal in the 7th minute from Yuki Kitano. Since then, seems Croydon have been controlling this game, but haven't really presented a whole lot of attacking threat either. Adelaide City, though, on the flip side, always dangerous in the counter-attack. Maybe missed a couple of clear-cut opportunities. Miller comes in, kicks it out via a deflection for a Croydon throw-in. Goes out for another throw-in. This time it'll be an Adelaide City ball, which won't happen, as halftime has been called by the referee. So 1-0 the result at halftime for Adelaide City. Again, just that one goal coming in the 7th minute from Yuki Kitano. We saw one yellow card presented to Asad Kasumovic in the first half as well. And just a quick check-in with the other matches happening at the moment. 20 minutes in between Playford City and Metro Stars, and Playford find themselves 1-0 up. Still 0-0 at Kilburn Sportsplex between West Adelaide and Sturt Lions. So feel free to check those games out at halftime as well on FSA Leagues. Time for us to have a quick break now. We'll catch you for the second half shortly.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability, and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Introducing Carl's Jr. Star Boxes for taste and value that's out of this world. Choose a tasty ranch, original, Santa Fe or barbecue double cheeseburger and grab a small fries, all for only $6.95. Carl's Jr. Eat like you mean it.
I just want to make an impact.
Hop in.
Where are we going?
There are so many career paths with SAPOL, from operations to CSI. You can walk the beat or work somewhere a little quieter. If you want to make a difference, there's a career at SAPOL for you.
Hey, it's going to be all right.
Call up the search.
Find where you belong in blue. Search SAPOL Careers.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
And that's in! Diamantis sees Harpers off his line. And he makes him pay.
I think the people involved, you get to meet a lot of people in football, and that's just one of the great things. Not only is the sport great, but the people involved. So fellow referees, players, coaches, even fans. I love officiating because it keeps me involved in football. I was a player, but I don't reckon I could cut it out there anymore, at least at any decent level. But as a referee, I get to be involved in higher levels of football. Keeps me involved, keeps me fit, and is great fun. I think I have that A moment of this is why I do this every week. It's always good fun to get out there, and there are tough moments, but being resilient and succeeding, even just in the little things throughout a match. I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn, and as a referee you surely come across a lot of them, and I certainly have. I reckon give it a go. You will face challenges, but that's a part of it, and I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn.
Introducing Carl's Jr. Star Boxes for taste and value that's out of this world. Choose a tasty ranch, original, Santa Fe or barbecue double cheeseburger and grab a small fries, all for only $6.95. Carl's Jr. Eat like you mean it.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings. Tom Wren for sport. Jade Robran on the scene as it happens. Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide. Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
So the Youth Club Championship, we've designed a structure where the under 13s, under 14s, under 15s and 16s all compete together as one club. They'll play at the same venue, they'll play one after each other. It allows the technical director to be at the venue to help educate and look after the coaches, and also there's a focus on player development.
Players are now knowing where they are at and the pathway to follow each year. If they continue with the YCC, they should be in a position where they can go into senior football. It's a lot clearer around the steps they need to take to keep tracking as a player.
We've created an additional YCC training session or seminar night. All the players involved had the opportunity to do an extra additional skills session development plan, and we had Adrian Stanter coming in to talk about how to become a more professional player from a younger age.
The fact that as a club we are investing heavily in the juniors to ensure that we're putting those tools in place that the YCC is wanting from us, that's certainly bringing around some benefits to the club and to junior development across the board.
Everyone's trying to obtain points for their club, but also with a strong focus on how do we create a competition where players can play against like players.
The one thing I have noticed is it's been a bit more focused on getting the balance right. So, you know, trying to keep the best teams playing against each other throughout the entire year and not having this big disparity between one team or another, one club or another.
So what it has allowed us to do is have quality games every week, which has benefited the competition and given the girls a chance to sort of understand what it's like to play at that elite level. While development is a good focus, the YCC does bring out the aspect of results as well, which helps find that balance for players to transition to senior football.
So I think with the YCC structure now in place, there's become a better level, and with a better level there's been higher intensity within our sessions, and that's allowed for greater development in terms of a player technically, tactically, and that's given them the best chance to keep improving their game.
Yeah, look, I think there's certainly brought around a lot of excitement to the club on YCC Day. The club's buzzing. A lot of the parents and players really enjoy seeing the kids play, and what is really now an elite pathway in junior football in our state.
Something that resonated with me right on the onset was about connecting a budding footballer with the right coach with the right club, and the right club being part of the right football environment. So the YCC tells me that this has been a fantastic implementation by Football South Australia.
Still in the box, and it's another goal!
Welcome back for the second half at Adelaide City Park. It's Adelaide City versus Croydon in round 18 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. 1-0 the scoreline at halftime. Our sole goal coming in the 7th minute from Yuki Kitano. In terms of the general feel of play, a couple of opportunities missed for Adelaide City in perhaps the first half of half number one. Croydon managed to wrestle back a little bit more control of the game on the back end of the first half, but unable to create a whole lot of attacking threat. And they'll come out to try address that in the second half. Two other games happening at the moment, one at Ramsey Park between Playford City and Metro Stars. Currently in that game, Playford City find themselves 1-0 up at home against the league leaders in the 34th minute. Meanwhile, all 0-0 at Kilburn Sportsplex between West Adelaide and Sturt Lions. I mentioned the league leaders, Metro Stars. They aren't league leaders at the moment, although they were leading into this round. West Torrens Bacalla enjoying a big win against Para Hills Knights last night. So they, at the moment, stand atop the ladder in terms of the live ladder situation. If Adelaide City do hold this lead all the way to 90 minutes, it'll be all locked up, equal for points at the top between Berks and Adelaide City. And those two teams are set to face each other here again next week too, so that'll be another pivotal game in terms of the outlook of this league. But for Croydon FC, went into this round in 5th spot on the ladder, just hoping to create a little bit of a buffer by picking up 3 points this afternoon. But certainly this game still anyone's at the moment. Be an interesting one to watch this play out. Croydon will be kicking from left to right in this second half. They are in the green away strip, which we don't see a whole lot. No changes seemingly at half-time for either side. On the bench though for Adelaide City, we've got Cosmo Groff as a backup keeper, Alex Battistella, Francesco Scamizzi, Terence Lynch, Charles Ayang, Patrick Carachia. Meanwhile, on the bench for Croydon, Matthew Woity, the backup keeper, Thomas Mastrantoni, Oliver Trimboli, Alexander Good, and a couple players that are hoping to get their NPL debut if they do come on later this afternoon. Nicola Marino and Massimo Sergi. Bit of work for Croydon to do into this second half to get that one back and hopefully put their noses in front. Again, it's just for them about trying to turn some of that control that they enjoyed in the first half to scoring opportunities. Adelaide City, I'd imagine, be much the same, really trying to be dangerous on the counter-attack and make Croydon pay where possible. O'Neill finds Bucco. Habitu finds Brissan. This Catano back to Bucco, who manages to find Costanzo. He's got Catano presenting as an option, but chooses to start Kasumovic presenting in the back post, and Adelaide City make it two. Lewis Laurie Latunzio, the player that did the damage for Adelaide City in the end. Seeing that Catano was being a bit of a decoy as a near option for Costanzo, but meantime, Kasumovic was just floating in towards that back post, put it right into the path of Laurie Latunzio, who swiftly converted. So, very early on in the first half, Adelaide City managed to double the lead. So the job just comes a little bit bigger now for Croydon. We have seen them get some major swings in games so far this year. One example that comes to mind was that one back a few rounds ago that eventuated in a 5-5 draw between Croydon and West Adelaide. In that case, 4-1 was the scoreline. 3 goals the better West Adelaide going into the half-time break. And at full-time in that one, ended up being 5-5 after Croydon managed to score 4 in the second half. Hopefully the job doesn't become that big, but for now, just in a slightly worse position than what it was at the break. Oliver Trimboli warming up. He was kitted up at half-time, and looks like the change might now be coming. Again, just the scoring opportunities weren't too plentiful in the second half, despite Croydon probably controlling the game for a good 25-minute period or so. So Trimboli's inclusion may look to address that as Luca Trimboli puts it into the sky. Across from Passia John. It's a missed opportunity for Croydon. Here's Adelaide City coming forward. Kasumovic. He's got Polly to get past. Managed to do so with the ball to Yuki Catano. Back to Franchisi, who finds Kasumovic. Back to City captain Bucco, who sends it central to Catano. Didn't manage to control it cleanly, but that's well done from Laurie Latunzio to pluck that and send it to Tom Costanzo. Tried to flick it back to Brissan, but eventually it's spilled by Costanzo to Klimek. Now here's Styles. Passia John managed to evade Weston. Styles back to Martinello to Cato. There's a bit of a poor touch, trying to find Oscar Slattery. And here's our change. Apologies for just going quiet, just having a bit of a listen in to the bench. So it's been James Polly that's come off. Oliver Trimboli coming on. Seems that Slattery's going to possibly slip into that left-back role left by Polly, and Oliver Trimboli's going to provide a little bit more support up top, so I'd imagine Oliver Trimboli now probably going to be more of a number 10, and again, hopefully address the fact that we haven't seen a lot of real scoring opportunity for Croydon. Of course, there was that one just a couple of minutes ago. They weren't able to convert. It'll be Franchisi to take this throw for Adelaide City. Goes to Costanzo, but Oliver Trimboli puts it out for another throw. A little bit further back afield. Kusumovic under some pressure from Slattery. He's content to just wait and let Slattery put it out for another Adelaide City throw-in. Klimek slides in and claims that. Now John Hall comes out from his line bravely to claim it. Here's Ned Stiles. Didn't land cleanly for him, and now he battles. Laurie Latanzio eventually goes out for a Croydon throw-in. So Hall came out very bravely in that instance and managed to get first touch to it. Himself in a little bit of a vulnerable position. Had Stiles maybe received that ball a little bit more cleanly and been able to put it over the top of the keeper. We have seen Croydon score some long-range goals this year. One that automatically comes to mind is Passia John at Service FM Stadium against Adelaide United Youth. Scored from the halfway mark pretty spectacularly. Here's Laurie Latanzio. As Passia John comes back to assist Slattery. Loose ball that ends up going to Kitano. Loose touch means it spills for Adelaide City, although they've won it back. Ali O'Neill goes to ground against Oliver Trimboli. He's a little bit frustrated to see that kick awarded to Adelaide City. So the other shift we've seen with the substitution is Passia John going on to that left-hand side, assisting Slattery. So another attacking option centrally, and overloaded that left of Croydon. And Kato, Rylan Q has just come onto that near side as well, so potentially him plugging that hole on the right. Here's Martinello. Two centre-backs for Adelaide City, and Abichu and O'Neill happy to let that go back to John Hall. O'Neill bombs it forward, hoping to find Kato, but Bomber Paul wins the ball. He manages to keep his feet. That's Martinello. Looks up, sees Kato on a run. Instead chooses the left-hand side to Passia John. And he's got the two Trimboli central as he managed to shake Laurie Latanzio. Martinello arrives to help, but ends up being a loose ball played straight to the opposition in Bailey O'Neill. O'Neill now comes forward. He sent it central, but looked like a bit of a rushed attempt to try and play it to Kitano in the end. And eventually it goes out for a Croydon throw-in. Klimek. Klimek goes over the head and finds Stiles. Martinello comes off the switch to Passia John. Now John has Franchisi to shake. Stiles manages to get past Abichu. Trimboli just a couple of yards off that. Passia John still working to shake Weston. And denied by John Hall. So we're seeing the attacking intensity just dial up a little bit for Croydon. Just with that extra man in the middle. It's going to be Styles to take the corner kick. Another left-footed in-swing incoming. Oliver Trimboli just floating in front of goal, and Asad Kasimovic didn't quite manage to put that into the next paddock. And Styles takes that one quickly. Martinello plays it back to Styles. He puts it back into danger. Oliver Trimboli puts it in the back of the net. One back for Croydon FC. Croydon straight back to business. Want to get this game back underway. So it's the sub that manages to score. Half the deficit for Croydon. That'll be his fourth goal so far for this RD18 NPLSA campaign for Oliver Trimboli. There was an instance a couple of weeks ago when Croydon hosted Adelaide United Youth where, despite his best efforts, wasn't able to convert and missed a couple from straight in front. So good to see him find the back of the net and hopefully for his own sake just get a little bit more confidence and wind in his sails. And it looks like we've got a hydration break at Adelaide City Park. I won't give you an ad break, but I will tell you it's round 18 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. Chat to a local who backs you and your team. It's better to be a member with RAA. 56th minute goal officially. It's Oliver Trimboli. Again, we'll just quickly check in with the other games that are happening at the moment. Looks like we're just before half-time at Ramsey Park, where Clayford City still lead Metro Stars 1-0. All tied up at Kilburn Sportsplex between West Adelaide and Sturt Lions. The last game of round 18 of the RAA NPLSA will happen between FK Big Red and Adelaide United Youth at Frank Mitchell. 6 o'clock kickoff. Slight bit of delay here as John Hordis gets a little bit of treatment. We're talking about that goal that they scored, but John Hall's incredible efforts to try and deny that first attempt, which eventually resulted in just a loose ball that Trimboli was able to put into the back net. And he's ready to go after putting on the hat. I mentioned in the first half that it was Daniel Margush donning the hat in the first half as he was looking into the sun, and maybe the second half will favour Croydon a little bit with the fact that the Adelaide City keepers will now have the sun in his eyes. This goes over the top of Bailey O'Neill, and Yared Abitu's able to play it back to his keeper. Costanzo comes up and not able to reach her as Klimek that's able to get the ball and put it out for an Adelaide City throw-in. Weston throws it in and finds Costanzo. Muller releases it, but ended up being a loose ball that Weston was able to put back forward as Costanzo gives away the foul to Balmaport. Mr. Bologna, Lucas Klimek, that takes the free. Mentioned it before, but we'll mention it again in terms of the top three. Adelaide City against Bacala going to be a very important game next week between two top three sides. Bombaport tried to find a gap between the two centre-backs for Kato to slide behind the back of. Adelaide City launched a short-lived counter. Slattery, who's slipped back into left back with Polly coming off. Of course, Croydon opted to bring Oliver Trimboli on just as another attacking option. And Slattery now will play that's able to do both for Croydon, both defensively and as a wide target. Passage on receives that offside. Abichu goes back to O'Neill. Manages to beat Trimboli, although he's not content to let the former Adelaide United youth youngster get away. Ball just kept in. And ends up being a little bit wasteful for Adelaide City as Daniel Margush is able to claim it. Countdown coming from the centre referee. 8 seconds to get rid of the ball after he gets it under control. One of the rules to come in for this season. Bucco dispossessed, but the ball ended up being sent to the feet of Bailey O'Neill. And now it's put out of bounds, and this will be an Adelaide City throw-in. Looks like a change coming for Adelaide City. We've got both Karachi and Skimitsi presumably getting ready to come on for City. We mentioned at the start that it was Nick Bucco's first start since round one in the NPL as ball sent central by Kasumovic and looked like a bit of a slip on the way in from Larry Latanzio. Here's Kato to Klimek. Kato just trying to shake himself past Costanzo, and Costanzo commits the foul. Trimboli plays on quickly, but the whistle goes back to retake. And it seems that Costanzo has gone into the book, and he'll also go to the bench to make way for Francesco Skimitsi. And as expected, it's going to be Nick Bucco who comes off to make way for Karachia. So the two players were part of the starting 11 last week, but didn't manage to get the start this week. Come on to feature in the last half hour of this game. Klimek finds Martinelli, who's got a bit of time. That was quickly shut down, and there's another one for Croydon. And Trimboli gets his brace. Well, we said the job was made just a little bit bigger for Croydon after Adelaide City scored just after coming back for the second half, but in half an hour we've seen Adelaide City double their lead and Croydon reduce it completely. And now we've got a real game on our hands. 64th minute officially. Oliver Trimboli makes it 2. We mentioned before, after his first goal, that maybe there was a little bit of a goal scoring slump, but what better way to get your confidence back than score 2 in less than 10 minutes after coming on. So that change for Croydon, so far effective. Slattery spills. Franchisi gets the cross off. Another ball from Brissan, and Croydon just scrambling to get this to safety. Trimboli just keeping Weston at bay with his body. Eventually goes out for a Croydon throw-in. So we spoke in live ladder terms if Adelaide City were to get a win, and the fact that it put them equal at the top with West Torrens Bacalla. Now we can look at a slightly different scenario should both these teams end with a point each. Metro Stars, of course, playing at the moment, but as things stand, they're on 37 points. Adelaide City, if they only take one, they'll be in third position on 36.
Oscar, come on!
And Playford City leading at Ramsey Park. Won't do Croydon any favours, but they're currently on 28 points. They could potentially challenge for 4th spot if they get a win here today.
Oscar! Oscar!
Just quickly checking with those other games again. 1-0 still at half-time. Playford City against Metro Stars. 0-0 at Kilburn Sportsplex, West Adelaide and Sturt Lions. Margush. He's looking for Karachia, who looked like he had the sun of his eyes and was just caught waiting ahead of Trimboli. There's been a clash though, that scene. I believe that's Ned Styles go to ground. Just some afters at the moment between Karachia's front and centre. Vice captain for Croydon. There's another yellow card here. 3rd of the afternoon, I believe. Not quite sure of the recipient. May have been Abichu, perhaps. So 3 cards shown so far this afternoon by my count. Kasumovic, Costanzo, and I think Abichu. All going the way of Adelaide City. Here's Muller. Trevoli just manages to deal with Bailey O'Neill. Trevoli comes in again and looked like he clipped the back of the boot of Bailey O'Neill, and now we're going to see another yellow card go to Trimboli. It's all happening front and centre to your camera at the moment. The word from the assistant was Trimboli stepped on the back of the boot, but a little bit of a shake of the head. Brissan to Abichu. O'Neill just goes over the head of Klimek, and Laurie Latanzio's made a run there back to receive. Margush waiting for that delivery though. Here's Martinello. Finds Klimek. Cutting in and Laurie Latanzio at bay with a bump initially. A couple of exchange in the end, but looked relatively evenly matched in the end between the two. Klimek finds Oliver Trimboli through traffic. Ned Styles plays it to passage on as they spread Franchisi wide. Franchisi gets the cross off. Cato plays it straight to the hands of John Hall. Not completely out of danger yet. Adelaide City as Styles came in on a straight foot left high by Franchisi. Jaden Betterman's having a good think about this. Luca Tromboli's clapping his hands, and he must have seen the red card coming out of the top pocket. Ned Styles still in a deal of pain in the middle there as the referee calls for the trainer. Haven't seen any player leave the pitch from Adelaide City yet. Oh, there he is. So it was Franchisi as a result of that initial challenge. Of course, if you're at home, you can just rewind that a little bit. You see that, at least initially, it did seem like it was just foot that led squarely in the body of Ned Styles. So things look a little bit dire for Croydon at one point, just after the second half went underway when they went 2-0 down. Things certainly improved by the time that Oliver Tromboli came on and completed his brace. Now it's Adelaide City that looks like they're going to have a very challenging end of the afternoon. Going to see a change now for Adelaide City, and Yuki Kitano's just been called to the bench. It's going to be Fergus Lynch that comes on in his place. Ned Styles is just looking at his upper left thigh at the moment, so it must have been the place where he received the studs. He's got a couple of knocks over the last 5 minutes or so, has Styles, but showing his resilience. And we're going to get back underway momentarily as Luca Tromboli and Passia John preside over this ball. A couple of the Croydon supporters have come close to give a little bit of support, and John Hall comes to comfortably get on the end of that. Looks like the sun has just dipped a little bit at Adelaide City Park as well, and certainly makes the keeper's life a little bit easier. Ball from Laporte lands to, ball from Hall rather, lands to Laporte as Slattery slides in to claim that ahead of Kusunovic. Styles. Hall darts to claim it, but it's offside anyway. Back underway at Ramsey Park between Playford and Metro Stars. 47 minutes in, Playford still lead at home and still tied up at Kilburn Sportsplex. As this one goes out for an Adelaide City throw-in. Laporte sends it towards Tromboli. A little flick of the head, but the sub for Adelaide City, Lynch, is there. Skimitzi just making sure that Muller was feeling his presence. And Brissan will take the corner for Adelaide City now. Sumovic covering a little bit of ground just on the edge of the 6-yard box, but eventually just goes beyond that far post. Here's Karachir on the edge of the box. John gets in the way. I see he may get a second try at sending it central. Goes to ground. Things seem to be heating up out there at the moment. Plenty of players on the pitch being fairly vocal. Slattery trying to send it forward, looking for Styles, but goes over the top, and it will be an Adelaide City throw-in again. A couple of subs warming up just below us for Adelaide City. It's Charles Ayang and Alex Battistella. Now this time will go the way of Adelaide City. With both Buchholz and Costanzo, a couple of the favoured penalty free kick takers already on the bench. It looks like it's going to be Kasumovic or Brissan to take this. Kasumovic just falls off. Skivitsy's doing a bit of running inside the penalty area. Eventually a pack of players go down, and it's going to now be a Croydon throw-in. Or a goal kick even. The sun's back out over Adelaide City Park, but the temperature has dropped a little bit since our 2:30 kickoff. Muller, there's the Slattery. Ned Styles has to get his skates on as Brissan chases him down. Here's Luca Trimboli. Not quite able to find here Kato, who's slipped onto that wide right-hand side since that bit of a reshuffle from Croydon, which has already shown two goals worth of dividends. It was Oscar Slattery that had to fall back into left back with Polly coming off. Oliver Trimboli slipping into a number 10 sort of role, and Cato sitting wide on the right. Clears it hurriedly, and Martinello is able to get it and spot Styles. Styles finds Klimek. He headers it centrally. It's another diving defensive header from Bailey O'Neill. Bomber wins it back for Croydon. Here's Styles again. John. It's past Kasumovic, and this is a long-range shot. All the way at the other end now to Daniel Marcush. Muller sends it long towards John. A little bit heavy on that first touch, and Adelaide City a little bit wasteful in paying Croydon the throw-in. Looks like it's going to be Adelaide City now that take the throw-in. This ball this time lands to Oliver Trimboli, but again a little bit of a poor first touch. I see John fighting to keep it in and getting a little bit of shirt pulling from Amichu. Paid the foul for it. Here's Maport. Nello goes back to Maport. Marla goes straight through the middle to Luca Trimboli. Going to Scamitzi for Adelaide City, and he's fed that to Laurie Latanzio. Numbers flooding forward for Adelaide City now, and Marla's able to clear. Stiles does well to keep his cool, and eventually they're able to send it towards Passia John. Initially the ball looks good, but goes out for an Adelaide City throw-in. Clement heads it to Maport. Well, on the sideline below us, Croydon ready themselves for a change. There's John. Martinello. Stiles finds Maport. Passia John sends it goalward, but again just finds the hands of John Hall. Clear countdown from our central referee, and John Hall then hurriedly disposes of it. Scamitzi, the sole one for Adelaide City, just trying to apply a little bit of high pressure to Croydon. Paul goes all the way back to Margush. Now Croydon just finally drawing a little bit of pressure from Adelaide City. Ball of Laurie Latanzio. Klimek with a nice ball to Bulmaport. He's Cato. He's surrounded by players in black and white. Actually, it's Ollie Weston who comes in to claim it. And we're going to see that change now for both sides, actually. Got Alex Battistella getting ready to come on for Adelaide City, and he'll do so in place of Laurie Latanzio. And it's going to be Alexander Good to come on for Croydon. And it's going to be Passia John that makes way for the 19-year-old Alexander Good. So it'll be interesting to see how we play out this game with Croydon against the 10 men. '84th minute now. Will they really try to dial up the pressure and try to get a third and steal this win after initially being 2-0 down just after the half-time break, or will they be content to just display a little bit more patience and potentially settle for just 1 point? Stiles goes up. It's Oliver Trimboli. Beats it straight to the chest of Lynch. Scamitzi manages to win that just ahead of Bulmapore, and eventually goes out for a Adelaide City throwing. Bit of an update from elsewhere. Another red card this afternoon elsewhere, Kilburn Sportsplex. We've seen a player go off with 2 yellow cards for West Adelaide. Critical game for West Adelaide as they try to pick up some valuable points and build a bit of a buffer between Croydon in that second to last spot, that second relegation place, but it's taken a little bit of a dent by going down to 10 men. Here's Battistella. Makes Lynch run for it.
Look up. Come up if you want. Join in. Goody. Get closer to Luca right now.
Slattery chooses Muller.
Adam, give the ball!
And discontent at this moment too. Let those players for Adelaide City chase. We did see that moment just a couple of minutes ago, that as soon as they did sort of invite a little bit of pressure up front from Adelaide City, they left a little bit of space and they were able to do an attack, but just a little bit of frustration from the Croydon bench below us at the moment too, so maybe just wanting to see a little bit more late in this game. I'd expect we'll probably see a decent amount of extra time added after 90 today. That's good. Gets it high. Styles. And eventually, someone going to end up wide, and Hall's able to claim that inside his 18-yard box. Stella just helped off the ball by Klimek. Klimek finds Styles. Triboli. Fouled by O'Neill. Or shakes Kmitzi. It's just sneaking wide on this near side. Slattery finds Cato. Now here's Styles, looks up. Let's have a look at his crossing options. Good. Forced to reach for it. Eventually falls to Cato. Trimboli. And he goes to ground in the penalty area. There will be no pen though. Trimboli. Kusumovic does well just to pick the pocket of Styles. Ended up being a bit of a effective, albeit scrappy ball from Adelaide City, only momentarily though. Now Croydon are back on the bounce. Bomber Port. He's got Good, Trimboli and Cato, all his options. Cato still releases the cross slash shot. Not sure what the intention was there in the end, but the ball comes in quickly. Well, it might be the Croydon bench trying to give the ball back quickly to get play going. Looks like it was one of the Adelaide City players, which made me a little bit confusing, because I could probably forgive them in their situation for wanting to eat a little bit up the time up, but play gets back underway quickly to their credit. Here's Battistella. Goes to ground and looks like a throw-in, or it will be a free kick. Rosan falls off and it'll be O'Neill to take the free.
Just behind the line, mate. Just one more. Thank you. Yep, let's go. 3, 2, 1, now.
And one on the G18-yard box, and Bomber Paws waiting for it. Kusumovic, though, more than happy to get on the end of that header. Got a couple of Trimbolis both calling for the ball. Falls to Luca. Oliver now floating forward. He wants it now. It's just sent wide of that far post by Luca Trimboli, who thought he had a good enough chance to do it on his own, and not a bad one in the end. Something else has happened there, and Aaron Abichu's been called in to have a quick conversation with the referee. And it looks like we're going to see a free paid just outside. It's not a free. Just a distraction as the coin is quickly played, and good. Looked like he got ahead to it. Maybe even a bit of an accidental one, but just ends up going over that crossbar. So we're just past 90 now. Adelaide City made it 2-0 just after the break, thanks to Laurie Latanzio in the 46th minute. A reshuffle from Croydon, putting Oliver Trimboli on, and he's able to make a swift impact, scoring in the 56th and 64th minute. Since then, we've seen a red card shown to Cheesy for Adelaide City. But Croydon not yet able to capitalise. Can they do something here? Styles just manages to stay on side. Styles at least a shot, but despite a pretty impressive work rate this afternoon from Styles, he's shooting from distance. Not necessarily his strong point this afternoon.
Oscar, move, get up, go closer, get on the top of the box. Go, Oscar.
Martinello lines it up. John Hall forced into action. They'll get another chance of this corner as well. Last time was that short ball from Kato to Styles. This time it's going to be Styles that takes. And he returns the favour to Kato. Back to Styles. Considers the cross but goes back instead. Here's Martinello. Tried to do a little bit too much with the flick, unfortunately. All the way back to Muller. Styles. Good will get on the end of this. Just managed to keep it in. Kato again. Luca Trimboli's there. Klimek comes in, and eventually it's come off an Adelaide City player for another Croydon corner. Third in quick succession. Jared Abichu's just down for Adelaide City now, though, getting a little bit of treatment.
Just have a dig. Don't worry about it. Adam, just a bit closer. Just if it breaks, at least you're there. Just a bit closer.
Yeah, this time, as it was the first time, it's going to be Kato to take, but now he sends it maybe a little bit short. Slattery tries some range, but ends up putting it into the paddock.
Another touch there, mate. Come on, we're balanced.
Croydon swiftly want to get play back underway. Be huge for them to have reduced that 2-0 deficit in the 46th minute and claim all 3 points, but time quickly slipping by. Martinello goes up, but it's Carachia that gets a nod to it. Here's Battistella. He's got Martinello to get past. Does so, and looks like he was trying to send something into the path of Asad Kasumovic, but only goes out for a Croydon goal kick. Over 3 minutes into additional time now. Might be the last chance for Croydon to try and get a late one here against 10. Muller. Styles. Here's Oliver Trimboli. To lose a name already. Might be a late chance here for Croydon. He's good. And goes straight to the hands of John Hall, who's been made to work very hard in this second half. It goes directly out for a Croydon throw-in. Be a whole lot more time here to go at Adelaide City Park. Looks at the moment like Adelaide City, you're just going to manage to hold on with 10 men. Klimek, Martinello, just a few paces too far behind. Approaching 5 minutes in now. Quick update while we can from the other games happening. 69 minutes in at Ramsey Park between Playford City and Metro Stars. The home team still 1-0 up. And 0-0 between a 10-man West Adelaide as they host Sturt Lions at Kilburn. Oliver Trimboli. Cato will get on the end of this.
Stay home, Freddie. Freddie, stay home.
Bit of help from Slattery arriving. Styles is in the middle. Cato just trying to shake Lynch. Slattery will get this cross off. Instead chooses Styles. Here's Bomberport. Gets past Lynch and he'll have a shot here. Does so. And it goes out. A deflection from the Yarra Abertune. We're going to see another corner. Abertune goes to ground yet again. We were talking about John Hall's efforts and the work he's put in this second half to deny Croydon. And Abertune's another player that's just been made to work overtime, especially in this last 15 minutes. Styles goes back to Slattery. Surely now you just want to have a crack. Here's Martinello and he does so. It's a little bit high. Going to see the goal kick play out.
Seconds. 15 seconds left, mate.
15 seconds is time left from the referee assistant. Martinello wants to get play back in quickly. Styles. The ball's somehow ended up on the pitch, but won't affect anything. We finish with share points here at Adelaide City Park, so plenty of drama, especially in the second half. It was a relatively respectable affair in the first. Saw Adelaide City go up first in the 7th minute, thanks to Yuki Kitano. 1-0 was the result at half-time, but only took a minute after that for Laurie Latunzia to find the back of the net for Adelaide City and make the job look a whole lot tougher for Croydon. Croydon then responded, made a bit of a reshuffle. Oliver Trimboli came on and he was the secret ingredient to make the difference, scoring in the 56th and the 64th. Not long after, Adelaide City were reduced to 10 men after Franchisi was shown a straight red, but Croydon FC unable to capitalise in the end and complete a bit of a fairy tale comeback in the second half, but they'll be pretty happy to make away with equal points. We'll do a quick check of the live ladder, given where we sit with everything at the moment, and with Metro Stars currently trailing at Ramsey Park. I can tell you on the live ladder, it's West Torrens Bacala at top on 38 points. Metro Stars still underway on 37 in second. Adelaide City, 36 points. A little bit further down, Croydon holding on to the top 6 position on 28 points at the moment. It's been a pleasure keeping you company for the last 90 minutes at Adelaide City Park. It's time for us to say goodbye. Of course, don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, still one more game to go of the RAA NPLSA round 18. So join us from 6 p.m. on FSA Leagues to catch all the action from Frank Mitchell between FK Beergrad and Adelaide United Youth. But for now, we'll see you later.